don't forget to like. If you want to get more updates, entertainment, discussion, welcome to Leicester on Absent TV. We bring to you a lovely, wonderful topic in today's episode. From the previous edition, we were looking at relationship as a topic in general. And today we're looking at a very controversial and detailed topic that has been on trend in the mind of several people, the youths across the globe. Is divorce a result of undefined relationship? In today's episode, in the studio with me, I have two wonderful people. You know them, but it will be very, very of my own obligement that I introduce them to you. On my right hand, I have Mr. Bright.
You're welcome.
It's nice having you in the studio.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a privilege.
Thank you. Now, on my left hand side, I have the same wonderful damsel, ever looking radiant. Hey, boys.
Hello.
Okay, boys, you're welcome
Thanks.
to the show. Okay, now there is a topic that seems to be very simplicity, but deep inside the topic looks very burdensome. The topic about divorce in marriage, and the topic says, is divorce in marriage a result of undefined relationship? And I want us to get deep understanding about this because we want to clear a deep understanding to people out there who actually are victims or by this circumstance. Let me hear from you, Mr. Wright.
Yeah. One cannot actually say that divorce in marriage is because of undefined relationship. Like a popular man of God rightly said, he said that and if actually a relationship is not defined or the purpose of a thing is not being defined, that abuse is inevitable. Now, talking about marriage, there are so many things that leads to divorce. And bear it in mind that if you come across some people who are divorcee, you ask them or you interview them, you discover that most of them did not plan it. Are you getting it? Most of them actually invested their time, they invested their energy, they invested their resources and whatever to make out time and make sure the marriage worked. But at the entire end, you see the marriage crashing. Are you getting? There are so many things that contributes to it, not just that the marriage is not being defined. Actually, most of them they defined their marriage and they wanted it to be a perfect home. They wanted it to be a perfect one, but at the entire end, some things that beyond
Arises.
human understanding, that is beyond the physical, also contributes to it. And sometimes we look into foundations too. You understand? Most people their own is foundational
Okay,
problem.
we'll get back to you there. I think you have more, a lot of details to tell us. Let's get even with Amos.
Yes. According to what you had said earlier,
Okay.
I think it's not just about relationship is not being defined from the beginning. No. Yes. Talking when you talked about, there's no one that wants to get married and opt out of the marriage.
Mm.
Maybe like had the plan, have it in the back of the mind that because I'm getting married, I'm going to opt out in the next 5 years, I'm going to opt out in the next. No one planned for that. No one desired and no one wants that. Everybody wants a happy home. They want to have a happy marriage. They want their own marriage to be like a point of like for the young ones to learn from then and on. But we see that in fact I you can even see that this happen more in Christian home.
Homes.
And we see that Christian relationship have been crushed.
So many
Husband,
divorces
yeah,
in the
divorces,
Christian.
yes, in
Okay.
the Christian
Okay.
home. Why? There are a lot of things that is being entailed in this. When you talk about there are lots. If you want to talk about the causes of divorce being taking place in relationship, there's a lot that is involved in this.
Okay.
It's not just about the relationship not being defined. The relationship can be defined from the beginning. That everybody know, okay, this is what we're aiming for, this is what we want.
Along the
And
way.
along the way, the marriage will soon crash. And some people that they didn't even know what okay, just let's give it a try. Let's see how it to go. And they end well. They're okay to old age and all that. So it's talking about divorce here. A lot of things is at stake here. when I talk about yeah, love, talking about
Okay.
marriage, love, like communication,
I think
money,
we'll come there.
understanding, a
You-
lot.
We'll come to that aspect. Okay. We just heard from both of them. They just give us a brief detail about that undefined relationship is not the cause of divorce in marriage. Okay, Mr. Bright. Why you were talking in the previous time, you were trying to go to the aspect about listing certain things that might be the result of divorce in marriage. I think also applicable to Abel's what she was also talking. Now this leads to the next subtopic in this art topic. Now, what are those causes? What are the things that you think that are the cause of this divorce in marriage? Since undefined relationship is not the cause from your own view, what do you think are the cause?
Yeah, as I rightly said when I was actually making my points, yeah, I mentioned one strategic point that I think is the cause of most divorces in the home. You understand? One of them that I actually mentioned is the spiritual.
Okay.
The spiritual, when I talk about foundation,
Yeah.
if you actually marry a woman that is actually coming from a divorce home, the probability of you getting divorced is there. Are you getting it?
You might be wrong, oh. If
I'm
yes,
coming.
don't say so.
I'm coming. I'm
No.
coming. It's actually why is it so? Because it's a foundation
Sure.
that have been
Okay.
laid in the home. Are you getting it? So it actually affects their children if it is not being handled spiritually. Are you getting it? Because marriage is funded by God. Are you getting it? God instituted the institution of marriage. Are you getting it? Now, if actually you guys get separated, you know it's somehow the physical and it's somehow spiritual
Spiritual.
too. Are you getting it?
And the
That's
two must
why
be balanced.
both of them must be balanced. You discover that the same things, the same forces that actually fought your your father or your mom that made them to divorce, if care is not being taken,
They
you
might fight.
understand, they will fight your home, they will actually fight your home, and you find yourself getting divorced. When you look at it, some people that we go divorce, you trace their family history, trace their family lineage, you discover it's happening like that. Oh, likewise, miscarriages, you understand, and late child bearing. When you trace all these things, you see it that is what foundational problems. Are you getting it?
Okay.
Because the worst thing that can actually happen to a man is for you to suffer from the things that you know not, the things that you contributed not,
Absolutely.
but because of what you are married into the
The
family,
foundation.
or you married from the family.
That means you're marrying the
Are you getting
foundation.
it? Because marriage actually, some people actually misunderstand it that if you are getting married, it's just for the both of
No, no,
you,
no,
the
no.
husband
Marry the
and the
family.
wife.
You're marrying the
You are
family.
marrying the family, and the family is actually marrying your your family.
Two family coming.
Are you getting it? It's the two families
Two
coming
foundations also
together.
coming. Two foundations.
Whether you believe it or not, whatever that affects your husband's home will actually affect you if it's not being if it's not being addressed spiritually. Are you getting it?
Okay,
Right,
okay.
Pastor.
I think I will have to stop at right at this point. So many details is there. A caption it as foundation, which is one of the major cause or one of the cause of divorce in marriage. And he also said details about that's what about late childbearing. That's what about what again? Seven is mentioned there also. We'll be coming back and let's get to hear from Abel's. You were
Yeah.
about the causes. What do you think
Yeah,
are the
the
causes?
courses we
Or
have
which
a lot of courses, like, but then there's something I want to address
okay.
at our this rights and statements I made earlier. Like, we Christian, we are too spiritual that we take we take everything being foundational courses and all that. There are things that Bible says my people perish because of the lack of knowledge. There are things that normally that we Christians should handle, that should treat, but we see it as if it's a cross or it's a foundational problem, and we begin to handle it in a wrong way. Let me make an instance. I saw, like, okay, I think it's a movie that I saw, and this girl, like, the dad died of this, is it trauma? There's this they get angry quickly. The term that is
Okay.
being called, yes, they get angry, they have their temperamental and this.
Okay.
So they see it as if is the mom does that, the father does that, and the dad died because of anger and all that, and the mom because of
High blood pressure.
yes, high blood pressure, and the mother was thinking because of her husband and all that, and she died too. So the uncle has now like put that fear into them, like this is your foundational issues and all that.
Okay.
Like that's okay, when they get to a certain age they're going to die, that because of the anger or whatever. It's only one of them that was able to sustain, because she met a doctor which like advised her and said this is not a foundational cause, it's nothing from the home, it's nothing this is a medical issue that will need to be treated. Now come back to what I'm saying. There are things that we see that needs that can be corrected. You can't say that because a child is coming from a broken home cannot have a happy home. It's not possible. She might have a happy, her parent might not have a happy home. Her parent might not have a happy home, but she might have a happy home. In fact, she will have a happy home. That depends on her. How she take her home, and she have to learn something from her home. What
The
has
error from
happened?
the
Yeah, the error from
foundation
the
she
home,
corrected.
everything. Yes, and when talking about divorce, a lot of things that intake when any relationship that lacks communication,
Okay.
things begin to happen when the husband and the wife are not communicating. And in any relationship, every keyword that 5 keyword like communication, I'm sorry,
Thank you.
you, and
Excuse me.
excuse me, and other things. They're very, 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 very important. And also when you're talking about financial this when there's communication, there's sound communication, you know how to manage your finance very well.
Okay.
And when there's love, it's very, very important also. Then when there's love, you understand yourself, one another, and all that. It will help building the home and all that. So when there are a lot, but when the understanding is not there,
The
so
marriage is
the
tend
marriage
to
is
break, or is at the
yes,
edge
no matter
of-
how you pray foundational courses and it's, although I'm not saying that there's no foundational courses and all that is
Okay.
not there, but don't use that like, oh, everything is foundational courses, you have to start battling it, there's no money, oh, they don't have money, fire,
Okay.
fire, no.
Okay, Abels. We just heard from Abels and we also heard from Mr. Bright regards to the cause of this divorce in marriage. I think I just want to throw a bit light to this topic. Now, divorce in marriage, is it a result or a result of undefined relationship? I still stand to say no, just like the way they both said. The undefined relationship is not the cause of divorce in marriage, from my own personal perspective. Because when the relationship is defined, you walk into it. There are things that make the relationship be defined. Once that thing begins to go off, that relationship is just coming down to break. But in the first place, it's defined. So it wasn't like it was not defined, it was defined. Now, looking at the causes of it, of this marriage, the divorce in other marriage, you discover so many things that is happening in our society this day. Now, Mr. Brown was talking about foundation. I want to address this aspect and also address our aspect. Foundation plays a role also. But foundation is not everything everyone just look deeper into. There are things that need to be addressed physically. But sometimes also, you don't play with things that are foundational. Like, why I say so? I want this example about, I came in contact with a friend of mine like that. You know, she's a lady. She's beautiful, and we had a conversation. While we were talking deeper, I began to discover so many things she was saying. Then I knew something was wrong. And within me, I said, if she doesn't pray it off, there are tendency she will also fall the same direction. Why do I say it? Our grandfather, the same thing. Our father, the same thing. Okay, let me use the word. Our grandmother, the same thing. Our mother, the same thing. Our elder sister, the same thing. Our immediate elder sister, the same thing. And she also, if you look deeper, it's what that she's also trained in some direction. And it's not like this is something that everybody has to just come out and pray. In the aspect about so these are things I believe one way foundation also has its own role. Now, aspect about finance, it's even the 90%. See, finance is another thing that play another major role for divorce in marriage. The same thing also applicable to communication. All these that have been stated are one of the causes of divorce in marriage. So, from the topic, undefined relationship is not the cause of a divorce in marriage. Okay, your final note, Mr. Bright, please.
Yeah, my final notes. Like I rightly said, that spiritual control the physical. Are you getting it? Now that doesn't mean that spiritual is everything involved or everything that leads to divorce in marriage.
Okay.
There are some other points, other things that leads to divorce in marriage. One of the things that also leads to divorce in marriage is actually negligence. Like some speakers, they say that actually before some people that had divorce in marriage, before they step into the marriage, they actually saw the signs. I get it. They neglected it, and some of them thought that they can actually handle it. And secondly, sin also causes divorce in marriage. Are you getting it?
Okay.
Like marriage is you work out your
Right,
marriage.
loving the
You work out
person.
your marriage. You work it out.
Um,
You work until death do you pass.
Okay, we just heard
Pastor
from
Bright.
we just heard from Mr. Bright. He's becoming the pastor in this show.
Pastor.
Also give details about that, about foundation also. And let's hear from Abel's final notes on the topic.
I would say that in marriage, divorce is not the yardstick.
Mm.
Yeah. Anything that you see that is not working out, you guys should try to work it out. At least from relationship, you have studied yourself, you know yourself better, and you have both agreed that you're going to work this out, and you have both agreed that you're going to live together. So I think you can work it out. For you to see a therapist, why not? Go ahead and see a therapy. Try to work it out, at least for the sake of your children and the sake of the love that you have established from one another from the beginning. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Abel. We just heard about divorce in marriage. It's not a result of undefined relationship. My final note on this topic is nothing is not worth working out.
Yeah.
A lot of marriages, even the best marriage you think is the best, has its own ups and downs. But coming together, communication,
Yeah.
understand each other and work it out. No relationship is perfect. No marriage is
None is
perfect.
perfect.
What it matters is work things out. Try to communicate. Open up. Voice out. Don't stay in depression. Don't die in silence. And divorce is not the result or the solution for every problem in marriage. Okay, thank you very much for watching this wonderful episode on Let's Talk Show on Action TV. Please do stay tuned for next episode, and I say to also subscribe to our YouTube channel,
Yeah.
Action TV.
Right.
Watch our videos, view them, like our videos, and also drop your comments. It is very, very essential. Your comments are more important to us. Okay, hope to see you next time on the next episode coming your way. Very, very big and catchy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.